He's got a show on CW right now, The Originals. Give it up for my man, Charles Michael Davis. Let me see this.
Thanks.
All right.
Why is that my batter's box song? I come out to that.
So you're gonna dance tonight, right?
Yeah, I feel inspired now that I know 3 different types of dance.
Grab a seat. Grab a
My
seat.
house dance. I know. I feel so inspired. I want to do spoken word and dance at the same time.
You can rap too, right?
Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Rap too.
Thanks for being here, Charles.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. And thanks for everyone else sharing their formula. Yeah.
One person meditates, the other person writes his lyrics down. So what's it feel like? You know, I talked about all these things that you've been accomplishing with your career, with like commercials and being on a series. How does it feel to see your career kind of accelerate like that?
Good. Feels really good. No, I mean, it's strange to look back. It's nice. It's like everything that was in here and in here, it finally matches up with what's going on out here. So it feels really good.
That's good. Get your inside right, then your outside gets right. You know what I'm saying? Has it always been acting for you?
Did Bruce Lee also say that? Get your inside right, get your outside right, and then be like water.
Wow, you're good at that.
Yeah, hey, Bruce Lee said it, not me. Yeah.
So has it always been acting, or what was it before acting, or how is it? What's been going on for you, and what you've been, going after in life?
No, I didn't get started in acting until I actually moved out to LA to act. I went to school for sports marketing, and then I ran track.
Okay. I don't know if any of you know this, but he got a scholarship for sports at University of Miami, right?
Yeah, Miami University.
Look at
Miami University in Oxford, Ohio. We were a school before Florida was even a state. So anyone who wants to claim Florida, take that. But yeah. I got it. Well, actually, I walked on at Miami University. The funny story. The coach told me if you get 6 in the state, we'll give you a scholarship. And at the time, I was maybe top 10. But I managed to drop my time down a second when I went to the regional meet. By the time I got to the state meet, I beat a kid I'd never beaten before, and I got 6th place. And in the 300-meter hurdles. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. But then it turned out the guy who got 5th place was also going to Miami, so he got the scholarship. And it turned out everyone else who was a hurdler in Ohio, they came to Miami University too. So I ended up actually doing the decathlon in order to get my scholarship. Yeah.
Wait a minute. So a decathlon is quite different than the 300-yard hurdles.
Decathlon, it is not where you ski and shoot. That's the biathlon. That's an Olympic event. And it's not where you swim, ride bikes, and run.
What do you do exactly?
It's 10 events over 2 days. Yeah. So each day is probably about, 7 or 8 hours. You wake up, you run the 100 meters, you long jump, high jump, pull, shot put, and then do the 400 meters. And the second day you wake up and you do the 110-meter hurdles, throw the discus, pole vault, javelin, and then you run 1,500 meters, which is about a mile. Yeah, so and then how I got into it was I was working out in the weight room, and my coach said, "Hey, Chuck, come here." And I was like, "Hey, what's up, coach?" He's like, "You know who would make a really good decathlete?" And I said, "I don't know. What's a decathlon?" He's like, "Well, it's 10 events over 2 days." I go, Rich would make a great decathlete. He's strong, he's fast. He goes, "No, I think you would." And I said, and the way he said it, and he smiled at me, and I said, "You really think I could?" And he said, "Yeah." And he said, "I think you can score, and if you score, you'll get a scholarship." So I said, "All right, sign me up." So, I learned 10 events and got 6 in the meet and got a scholarship.
Nice. That's difficult to go in for one sport or one event and then have to learn 10 other events. I commend you for that. That's a very almost like expansive mind state where it's like you're learning new skill sets to kind of accomplish a goal. You wanted a scholarship.
I wanted that money. Yeah, I want to get that money.
You know what you can do is you can go into the club and act like you can't speak English. You know what I'm saying?
If I knew that was what I had to do to learn how to dance, I'd have been up there like, me no speak English, me just dance. And I don't know, someone would have snatched me up, been a whole lot easier than learning 10 events.
Nice, nice. So, so you learn all these different events. Ooh, that's like, I'm tired just thinking about it.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. How does that transcend now? So if you're able to like change your skill sets like that, does that apply to what you're trying to accomplish now in life? Do you find yourself learning new skills to kind of keep moving forward?
Yeah, the way I actually wanted to play basketball, dreams of being an NBA star, but I wasn't that good at it, but I was really good at track, and so I learned it. I watched myself grow. I wasn't, in the 6th grade, I was the fastest kid in the 6th grade. And so in my mind, I thought I was one of the fastest kids in the world. Like, I was like, but it didn't work that way. I lost a lot of races, but I held on to it. I thought, well, I'll hit puberty, my muscles will grow, I'll hit a growth spurt, and then, I'll be the fastest kid. Luckily, I did hit puberty just a few years ago. Yeah, I got facial hair. Thank you.
His voice just changed.
Voice dropped. I got a little bit faster. No, but I did. I got faster, and I started winning races. And I started winning a lot of races in my junior year, and then I would go on with that confidence into college, and then I learned 10 events. And so I thought, well, when it came to acting, I thought I could learn that. That's only one thing. And so I took that confidence, and took that confidence and that arrogance and that ego, and I moved to Los Angeles. But I did. I said if physically I could learn 10 events and see improvement over 4 years and know, there was a point where I couldn't, hold a pole, and all of a sudden here I am flying through the air, on a 15-foot pole. It gave me a lot of confidence, and it showed me that with time and persistence and patience, I could learn things, So it helped me when I moved out here and I jumped into acting, and I learned voiceover, and then I started taking dance classes. I take hip hop. I take ballet now. But yeah, I just never stopped being hungry to learn new things, new disciplines.
Nice. So you're learning all these new disciplines. You see your career accelerating. What are you looking forward to, as far as accomplishments in your vein of acting and what you're trying to go towards?
Yeah, I said I wanted to be like a decathlete of the arts. Like, I wanted to be accomplished in many different things. So photography was one of them. I took up photography, and I shot some of the people here, like my friend Mercedes over there. I can't see her with the light. Yeah, her one of the pictures on her card. I took that picture. But photography, directing, just directed a video for you. Nate has a great song out.
Thank you. He's a good director.
Yeah. And then acting, and then voiceover, and then now moving into studying and learning writing, and eventually want to produce, and I've been shadowing and directing, and I just want to keep expanding and growing.
Awesome. So who do you look up to in your who do you look up to?
The Rock. Actually, Dwayne Johnson. Yeah, let me laugh. I'll
Say it
tell
again.
you why.
Say it again. The Rock.
The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and Denzel Washington. Yeah, naturally. Yeah. But The Rock, I don't know if you guys noticed, but he was the highest paid actor in his first film role, and he didn't even say a word. He got $1 million, right? And he's he's of mixed race.
What'd he say?
What?
What'd he say?
The Rock. He didn't say a word. He just came on screen. His presence. He has great presence, and he's charming. And I watched his documentary, and it wasn't always good for him. Just like for me, it wasn't always good. There was a time where I didn't work for a long time, about 4 or 5 years, when I moved out here. And The Rock, I watched his documentary, and he was this nice guy, and he played the nice guy, and people would boo him. Like he just couldn't win. And so he told Vince McMahon, he said, give me 30 seconds. I want to say what I feel and what I want to say. And he said, you know what? I'm from University of Miami. He was a Hurricane. He said, we invented swagger. He's like, that's not who I am. So he got on the mic and he told the crowd off. And he came with this attitude, and he sort of invented this age of attitude. And so here I said, here's a guy who is a nice guy and he's charming, But in him is this competitiveness and this swagger, and he's not afraid to show it. And that's what the crowd responded to. So for me, I played like a nice guy on Switched at Birth, and I was out in 4 episodes. They said I didn't have enough sex appeal with like the lead. No, I had to go back and
Does he
audition.
got sex appeal?
Oh, thank
Come
you.
on, ladies, sex appeal right here.
Thank
Put
you.
him back on the show.
Hey, calm down. Somebody watch
She
out
can't
for
speak
her.
English, but she can scream when she sees
Yeah.
sexy.
Yeah, her first language isn't English, but I can read her body language. Yeah. Yeah. I learned a thing or two. Yeah, at the clubs. But yeah, the Rock, because here's a guy that I related to, and he excelled. And I always said, if one person can do it, like if just one person, then that shows me that's where my focus goes. And I was saying the other day, it's like it's scientifically proven that's the power of one. Roger Bannister, before him, nobody had ever broke 4 minutes in the mile. And then when he did it, 2 years, within the span of 2 years, I think 26 people had broken a 4-minute mile. They started to train because they knew it could be done. Before that, why go for it? And now high schoolers do it. And that was one of the things I said, I'm just going to focus on that one person, and that's what I need to do. And I went and I had a meeting with my manager, and I said, look, I got to tell you some things. And I said, I don't expect you to do anything. I just have to say it, because it's on my mind. I said, here's what I want. I said, I want to play an antagonist, and I want to have fun, and I want to be on a show with other talented actors, and I want to learn from them. And I said, and I want to do a pilot that doesn't have to go through the deliberation of will it get picked up or not. And I said, and I want it to have a worldwide built-in audience, and I want it to pop off, and I want to have fun with my character. And then a month and a half later, I got on the originals, and I got the audition, and I knew it from the moment I looked at it. The character, he came out, and he had this like swagger, and he would wink to people in the audience, and he would put on a show, and he had just this energy that I was starting to accept in myself. And that was a huge turning point for me.
Right. So it sounds like you focused in on what you wanted, in a sense, and then it kind of manifested.
Yeah.
Is it clarity? Could you call it? Is it about being like clear with what you want to accomplish, clear where you're going, and the doors open up, or the pathway presents itself?
Yeah, that's one of the things too. Like for me, I'll be honest. Like if I can't see it, I know in my mind and my heart, I know it won't happen. So I need to get to little places like those plateaus. I need to climb the mountain like a little bit higher. And then when I see the peak, then I know I can get it. So for me, like I just wanted to test on a show. So the year before, I told my manager, like, I just want to test because I'd never tested before. Like a lot of my friends had gone out and tested. I said, if I can just get in and test for something and be in that group and see how I stack up, I know I can do well. And I said that, and sure enough, I did. I tested for a show, but I didn't get it. And then I sat in my car and I cried about it. And I was like, well, wait a minute. Like, I got what I asked for. I said, why didn't I not ask to be on a show? It was like, and then it made me very, very, it was like, my coach said, get 6th place. And I did. And I thought, well, how crazy is that? And I said, well, let me just dare. Now that I've seen it, let me actually wish to be, on a show. And sure enough, I auditioned exactly 1 year later in the same room with the same casting directors. But everything was the same, but I was different. Like I came prepared, and I knew I was going to get the job, and I could tell everyone else who was. It was just like I had changed, and that was my thing, was visualizing. And I heard Arnold Schwarzenegger, I read his autobiography, and he said he was always really good at visualizing. He just said he could see it, and it happened to him. He said his first, I think it was like a Mr. Olympia or something, he was in England, and he thought, if I can just get top 6, I know I can come back and win next year. He got 2nd, and then he told himself, wait a minute, why did I even go for 6? He goes, never again will I ever go for 2nd place, or never again will I just try to get in the door. And he said he was always good at visualizing winning. And, I see in me where, I have that ability and where I need to get clear on it sometimes too.
That's a good thing to go home with. We're not leaving just yet, but go for number 1, right? Like, if you're gonna do something, go all the way, visualize that, and it will be. Might take a while, might have to work hard, but it's good to get there. Couple more questions that I always ask people. One of them is, if you could go back in time, knowing what you know now, to where you were when you started acting, what is like one of the things that you would tell yourself?
All the outcomes of sporting events, so I could just bet on them and become a millionaire.
Hold on. That was in Back to the Future.
That was the plot for Back to
number
the
4,
Future.
right?
You know what? I would have told myself, relax, because I see how a lot of coincidence, and I believe in faith in God, and I see how a lot of things that were out of my control came into play, which helped me get the job. And I see how I got stressed out a lot, and I see how sometimes I was tough to my friends, and I see how every audition I didn't get was pushing me towards this one. And I would just have told myself, like, don't even sweat it. Like, walk the straight and narrow path. Like, when a storm comes, don't doubt yourself. You're meant to be somewhere. Focus on where you're meant to be and let the storm pass. Like, just keep going.
Nice.
Stay happy.
It reminds me of a quote we have on our at the house. We have a wall that we write quotes on, and it said, don't chase success, chase your passion,
Yeah.
and success will come.
Yeah, that there's a good like quote I just heard, and he said there are two goddesses, the goddess of wisdom and the goddess of wealth. If you chase the goddess of wealth, the goddess of wisdom will turn her back on you. But if you chase the goddess of wisdom, the goddess of wealth will become jealous, and she will chase you. Yeah, Deepak Chopra, I believe, had said that. Yeah, and so that was one of the things. Always
That's super
chasing
deep.
not only wisdom but self-knowledge. Learning more about myself, and then hoping that everything else will come into play, which it has.
Nice. So one last question. It's real basic, but it's pretty advanced. What would
Algebra? What do you calculus? The formula? What I got? A squared.
What is the
B squared?
That
equals
is
C
it.
squared?
What would you say your formula to success is?
My formula changes, but I'll tell you what it is right now. I just went to the Muhammad Ali Center in Louisville, and I talked about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I talked about The Rock. Well, The Rock only follows Muhammad Ali on Twitter, and they correspond with each other. Arnold Schwarzenegger and The Rock had said that their hero is Muhammad Ali. So when I went to the Muhammad Ali Center, I saw a lot about the man, and I learned about him. And so I pulled from his formula, and it was self-affirmation. That he came up there and he said, I'm beautiful, I'm black, I'm the greatest. So he inspired other kids, little black kids, to say, I'm a man, I'm the greatest. And he said it with such confidence, and he was a prophet. He would say, I'm gonna knock this guy out in 5 rounds. And I thought, what courage to say that. And I just heard recently Oprah asked, I think it was Oprah asked John Legend, like, how'd you get your name? I heard it was Kanye. He says, well, if anyone who knows how to believe in themselves is Kanye. Like, dude has an album out called Yeezus. But he said, actually, no, it was a poet friend of his. And he said, the friend said, yo, you should call yourself Legend. And he thought, whoa, I don't know about that. And then he thought about it, and he said, you know what, let me not call myself John Legend, not out of fear that I won't be a legend. That's not a reason not to affirm yourself. And I was like, And so she says, do you feel like you're living up to your name? And he says, like, I'm still working at it. And I love that. So it's that self-affirmation, but also that persistence and keeping at it,
Nice. I love when this guy talks. He's like a book of knowledge. He's got quotes. He talks about things he's reading. Give it up for Charles Michael Davis. Thank you so much for coming out here, man. Thanks. Nice.